you understand your brain better than most people ever will, but you're still not doing the things you're supposed to. The behaviors aren't lining up. And here is why insight and introspection don't actually change you. And I'll also tell you what does. So, this is exactly what we need to dive into for someone who's very, very aware of their own problems, but they're not doing anything to change them. Now, the reason why this video matters, the reason why this 10-minute video is actually worth watching and spending your most valuable thing you have on, which is time, is because of this. Every video you watch gives you a hit of understanding. It's giving your brain a reward. It feels like progress because you are imagining yourself actually applying the information you're receiving. My videos might feel entertaining because they're giving you more knowledge and more understanding of things. People do get progress, I get that a lot, but I feel like maybe some people probably are getting loads of insight but not really taking it into action, so I want to inform you on that. Knowing lives in a different part and system than doing, if we're looking genuinely at the brain. So one thing I want to point out before I go into this is Dostoevsky. Dostoevsky was so painfully aware of his toxic habits. He would become extremely aware of them. All of his behavioral patterns, the cause, the long-chained parts of behavior, but he could do nothing to change them. He didn't do anything to change them. So he just lived in a an intellectual torture system where he became so aware of his own patterns of behavior that were toxic and self-destructive, but did nothing to change them. So it increased the amount he was actually suffering because he was aware of it, but was doing nothing about it, which just made him more aware of his own pain and his own problems. It would probably be easier to be toxic and unaware than toxic and aware. But knowing and doing things, completely different systems. So understanding is stored in the conscious verbal parts of your brain. Behavior runs on older habit circuits, which were built through repetition. That's the thing. No amount of understanding is going to, transfer into those different parts. So you can hold perfect knowledge and still watch yourself act the old way, because the part making the decision isn't reading that material and going, oh, okay, I'll just do that instead. This doesn't mean, by the way, that insight and knowledge isn't valuable. It just means that if it's not being taken into action, then it's just another dopamine hit that feels rewarding, that feels smart, that isn't actually serving you in any single way. Sometimes I really do have to reflect on, my progression in terms of habits and how I've changed my own personal life and what did that. It was all within doing. It was within quitting habits. It was within starting different things. It never really directly came from deep introspection. Now, it gets to a point where introspection can just turn into this mental sort of turmoil where you're just knowing things and not doing anything to change them. Actually taking things to action, let's audit my environment, let's look to change things, is where the difference will actually sit. So second one is insight feels like action, so it satisfies the urge to change. So the moment something clicks, you get the reward of progress. You're like, oh, I can change this now. This is what I needed. I've actually baited a couple of my videos being like, this is the one thing you need to unlock progress. And then in that same video, I'll be like, the fact that you believe that you need more insight to make progress is exactly why you aren't making progress. You think you need to know more, when in reality, you need to cross that bridge of doing more. And that's something that, lives in people's belief systems very secretly, very subtly, and very quietly, and slowly erodes your life. So you'll become very aware, but your conscientiousness, isn't there to actually action anything because you could be very talented up here, but out there, it means you're not talented because you haven't actioned anything. And that's just the cost of it. And, the understanding discharges that tension that would have driven that behavior. So, that's why you can watch content for a year and end up in the same place. Like, feeling like you're changing is different from changing. If you want to really do this and find a way to be brutally honest with yourself about this, I want you to write down all of your habits now, your good ones and your bad ones, and then check them every month, every few months, every 6 months, every 12 months, and then you can actually see how much you have actually changed. And obviously habits really, sprout out more than just like, oh, did you hit the gym and swim, or like, did you, not watch corn or something? It can be much broader than that. Did you like stop people pleasing? Did you stop, putting yourself last, or things like that? It can really, we are basically just a real abundance of habits really most of the time, when we're looking at our subconscious versus conscious behavior, how many of the things we do choose to do consciously. And 3 is your environment decides more than your knowledge does. So most of what you do is triggered by cues not chosen in the moment. So what you need to understand is that subconsciously in maybe what you're not seeing is there's a stack of behaviors that are happening. Knowing the phone is costing you years does nothing when it's in your hand at 11 p.m. Like, being that I've really tried to gun down on this, because this is something I definitely struggled with, is that you can be so aware of what these things are doing to you, but it really doesn't really change anything at all. Probably even makes your life worse if you're not actually going to change those things. Like, becoming aware is something I recommend, but if you're just going to become aware and do really nothing about it, then it's just going to lead into awareness of your own suffering, which is, you could argue that that's actually less gratifying. And point number 4 is your identity overrides your intentions. Your brain acts in line with who it thinks you are. It's a perception thing. Your default mode network, which is comprised of 3 parts of your brain, is responsible for your self-referential thinking and the perception of yourself. It's your ego, basically. I am a neuroscience-based coach. I am this, I am that. That's all things that my ego attaches to itself. But the thing is that it has that perception of itself based through evidence, because, I do loads of actions that align with that. Of course, I'm going to call myself that, but in reality, I'm none of that. And that's the confusing thing. But the good part about this is that if you can change your perception, then you can start to shift things. Unless you're genuinely, actually clinically delusional, you won't be able to change the way you really perceive and see yourself until you do the work that changes how you perceive and see yourself. I want to be this person, and you're, in terms of the brain, when you're viewing someone who's not you, which would be your future version of yourself, that's actually not you. When you think about the future version of yourself, it actually highlights in the same part of your brain that's imagining a stranger. But when it's imagining you, it highlights in the prefrontal medial cortex, which is, because you're familiar with yourself, you know yourself. Whereas a stranger, that's your future version of yourself. So familiarizing yourself with that is where we can make real shifts, and understanding their behavior patterns. What do they do? How do they act? How do they walk, talk? All of that stuff. And that's the most important part, is understanding that this is all in your identity. Everything you do is another addition, another rep into that identity. So if you still see yourself as someone who struggles with, this sort of, your identity overriding your intentions, then, this is the tricky part, because the knowledge gets filed as interesting rather than applied. You're like, oh, that's really cool that I'm aware of all of these different things and my patterns of behavior are being highlighted, but behavior follows identity and identity follows repeated evidence. This is so interesting about introspection, because I'm very, very introspective. I want to be more extrospective. That's what I'm currently working on right now. So you can look at my things, because we're always working in progress. We're always working on ourselves. And one thing I've noticed is that, your introspection actually does nothing. It doesn't give you really any insight, because understanding who you are is understanding what you do. That's it. People think it's more than that. It's more than that, but it's all your actions. Because if you are being hardworking, that's being. So that means it's who you are, and that's how people would describe you. But that's because you do things that align with the actions and behaviors of someone that's hardworking. So that gets put together. So that's important to understand, is that if you want to change your identity, you want to change your behavior. I know it's really simple, but people run to introspection to start to do that, and it's not that way. Number 5 is change needs a specified plan, not here's how we solve things, right? It's a plan, not a solution. And deciding I'll do better leaves the decision to a future version of you under pressure. Deciding exactly when, where, and what you'll do removes the decision entirely. Hyperspecificity. If I wake up at 7, I'm going to drink water. If I get an urge to do a bad habit, specify the habit. I'm going to do this instead. 10 push-ups, splash my face with cold water. If you write that in the morning before your day starts, you're doing if-then prompting. I love this because I really like comprising the idea that humans and computers and AIs are actually really, really interlinked. And if-then prompts in a computer are very effective. The same way if-then prompts in a human will also do the same thing, as psychology and neuroscience have backed up. So you don't have a problem with understanding. You have a gap between understanding and execution, and it closes through repetition, environment, identity, and specific plans. Stop collecting all of this insight and start building the evidence that you're really looking for, okay? And if you're looking to really take this into action, my school community is purely action-based. I do give insight and stuff like that on throughout the way, but most of it is action, which is exactly what's going to make you change, and one-to-one coaching, which you can DM me on Instagram for. Thank you, and take care.